Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of To Be Read or Not to Be Read. In today's video, I'll be reading The Mist by Stephen King. Throughout the episode, I'll share my current progress in the book and offer some spoiler-free thoughts on the content. At the end, I'll provide my rating of the book. Please enjoy. In the wake of a destructive Maine summer thunderstorm, impenetrable mist descends from the direction of a local military facility and infiltrates the small town of Bridgeton, Maine. David, Drayton, and his son Billy are swept into a living nightmare as unnatural and violent forces concealed by the mist begin to emerge, wreaking havoc in their wake. Now trapped in the local supermarket with a ragtag group of survivors, David unexpectedly faces a growing threat from within, one that promises to challenge the boundaries of sanity itself as humanity makes its last stand against unholy destruction. In this horrifying mist, hearing and seeing and believing in what you're about to hear, you'll never forget. Hello guys, I am early into the book and I have been sent to Bridgeton. King's writing is so descriptive and I really feel like I'm in the same road as the characters. To start, the storm left a destructive path. A mist comes, and the first time I was introduced to it in the book, a guy was frantic with a bloody nose, telling everyone to stay away from it. The mist calmly basically warns everyone that the mist is death. The next chapter that I'm starting is titled The Storage Area, and there are problems with the generators, so I am interested in what happens next. In the scene I started on, the main characters and others go to the area where the generators are located, and they begin to feel anxious about what is happening. Somehow, they come into contact with the mist, leaving everyone shaken. Mist calmly views the mist as a sign of the end times and considers herself a prophet, which seems scary and crazy to others in the store. The next chapter will provide more insight into her beliefs. Where I started, Miss Carmely began to gain more supporters among others in the store. As night falls, we observe their first night at the supermarket. Everyone feels uneasy and the characters are thinking about the unknown that lies outside waiting for them. In this part of the story, people are trying to make sense of what is happening by holding on to faith or even creating conspiracy theories. The plot twist is frightening. The point where I stopped is where a few survivors are planning to walk to a nearby pharmacy, which I think is brave after what I've read about the mist. Hopefully everything turns out okay. I have now reached the end, and before I wrap up, I want to briefly mention the pharmacy scene. It was insane. The characters face off against a that is much more dangerous because of its size and how it attacks. Miss Carmougi continues to say that it's death out there, but thankfully the ending was satisfying, and this is one of my favorite books so far in the show. Up next is the rating section. Welcome to the rating section of the video. In one of the upcoming episodes, one book will receive 6 goals, which means it was a perfect story that I'll never forget. First is readability, which depends on how easy and enjoyable the book was for me to read. I give this book 5 out of 5 skulls. King's writing is incredible. The way he builds the world and makes you connect with the characters is impressive. Yes, some chapters were long, but it was worth it. The book is only 165 pages and he doesn't waste a sentence. Each sentence either develops the world, provides character growth, or enhances the story. The book wasn't hard to read and the story flowed very well. The next category is characters, based on character development and how well the characters come to life throughout the book. I will give this character category 5 skulls. There are more characters than Bill and David, but I wanted to keep the others out of the video to maintain some secrecy about the rest of the story. I felt the fear and anxiety they were experiencing. As the story progressed, the characters' emotions and tones shifted, showing that they all grew. I kept mentioning Miss Carmody because she stood out to me based on how she carried herself in the book. And I'm going to sound weird for this, but she was my favorite character. Overall, the characters changed throughout the book, and when it ended, it made it harder to say goodbye to them. The plot category will be based on its clear beginning, middle, and end, level of engagement, and its originality. I will give this 5 out of 5. The story had a clear beginning, middle, and end. A storm creating a mist, but with a twist is genius. I was not expecting anything more to come out of it, but King made a story with layers. Also, for a book to only have 2 scenes and still be entertaining is amazing work. Highly original and took me by surprise. Last but not least is the ending, and this is based on how satisfying it was. I will give it a 5 out of 5. The ending was satisfying. The climax of the was well done and made my heart race. The book wrapped up nicely with everything coming together and leaving off on an inspiring note. Based on the ratings from the categories, I will give this book 6 out of 5 scrolls and it's worth reading. The Mist is one book I will definitely be reading every October. The way the characters interacted with the Mist I wasn't expecting was fantastic. I've read a few of his other works and I think this would be a good starting point if you want to explore Stephen King, because I know some of his more popular works are much longer than this, so it's a great place to start. All in all, this book was a perfect way to conclude spooky season, and I'm happy it ended off on a 6-score read. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. The last book of season 1 will be The Gift by Frida McFadden. Until next time, explore new worlds and new stories.